speak in public for a living. I don't really do it now. Brian and I have known each other since 1970. Some of you don't go that far back. In those days, our main rivalry was I wore Brute and he wore Aramis. I don't know whether either of them are still made, but there we are. We met whilst we were working both for Legal and General. Well, in fact, before then, wasn't it? Yeah. And we got on famously. We spent several years hardly out of each other's company, either at work or socially. We had a mutual love of music. We had a mutual love of comedy, particularly Pete and Dad.
Yesterday, yeah.
As you can see, we've not really grown up. And we used to follow Brian, then the Harbour Lights and the Cheshire Plains, depending on who was after them. And we used to enjoy going to see them. We used to have a lot of meals together. Brian particularly loved coq au vin. In fact, he had it so often when he came to our house once, he said, "I'm not bleeding coq au vin again." Then, of course, he went off, first of all, round the world. I think he got to Woking. And then, of course, the big C arrived, Cliff. And he went out, and, of course, Brian's main claim to fame, like tonight, he made a major mistake in his solo. I was trying to embarrass you, I'm doing my best. Then when he came back, I thought he decided to learn a new instrument. He went into kitchens, but I've not seen him play the washboard yet. Then we lost him for about 15 years, and the best I can do is he must have joined the SAS. I heard him on the radio this morning under his other name, Andy McNabb. But thankfully he reappeared again, and for the last 4 years we've been back as though really we'd never been apart. And I'm particularly pleased that he and my two sons, Chris and Nick, get on famously. They're guitarists as well. I play at it, they play the guitar.
Yeah. Very well as well.
Well, they do, I don't. So they're now Uncle Brian to, or he's Uncle Brian to them, should I say. And really that's a short part of a very long and happy friendship that we've had over many, many years. I count him as one of my best friends. He's always there for me. I'd like to think I'm always there for him if needed. He still likes his toys, of course. He's got a Porsche, apparently. But when you're 60 years old, I suppose you're entitled to it. I had hoped that some of his guitar playing would have rubbed off onto me, but he's not that generous, I'm afraid. Or is it me that's just crap? Anyway, thanks a lot for coming on Brian's behalf, and let's toast the man. Hey! Cheers, mate. Really happy return.
You could take a picture of him blowing the candles out.
We just got to look at the cake first, and I'm going to apparently try and blow out all the candles. I'm just going to bring my guitar up and just show you what a fantastic cake this is. Because Jan has she's copied this guitar. Steve Foley, I believe you're going to take the mic. Mr. Steve Foley taking the long walk along the dance floor.
Responding on behalf of the bride. That worked well. Very good. So, I've known Brian since about 1975, I think. He walked into my studio, and I thought, who's this arrogant git? Yeah, talk about Flash. And he says, I'm a session player. So I said, well, okay, Smile Studios, yeah, you know. I thought, I'll put him on the spot. I said, you've got a guitar with you? He said, yeah. I said, all right, sit down there and give it a... I said, I've just come back from a tour with Cliff Richard. I said, what's he like? Name dropper. So he gets it some rally, and as he does, you know, and I said, like Alan Sugar, you're hired. So he's often confided in me, and he said, what's it like when you get older? I said, well, I do like sex at 62. I said, I live at 77, so it's no distance at all. And it's lovely to see Dorothy and Guy and some faces from the past, but I've known him even longer, and he actually used to go out with a girl from Bletchley. She worked on the, the top secret place, communications place. And her name was Dot. She was a Morse code operator, her name was Dot. But he was dashed when it ended. But he only went out with her because she did it. I'd like to back up the thanks for the buffet. It was fantastic. I particularly like the curry, the Taka Masala, which is like chicken only hotter. Whilst I'm preparing my props, well, okay, he's reminded me that we were on a gig in Scotland one time, and after the gig, I stood at the bar and minding my own business as you do, and up walks Siamese twins. I thought that's unusual, isn't it? So we got chatting, and one of the Siamese twins I pulled, so, you know, we went back to her place, and I said, how's the sister, how's the other half? She said, oh, I should be asleep in no time, yeah, fine. So I was woken up at 4 AM by the other half of the Siamese twins, playing the trombone. So I thought, oh, so a year later, I'm doing the same gig with Brian. And who walks up with the Siamese twins? And she says, I bet you don't remember us, do you? Okay, I'm going to get my props. Exit stage left. I'll leave you in Brian's capable hands. And I've got to say, Brian, I don't know much about art, but this looks like nothing like you.
Thank you very much indeed. To Pete and to Steve, lovely friends of mine. I've made a few notes. Could you just be quiet, please, while I'm speaking? That's right. I honestly, I just feel totally blessed with the number of lovely friends I've got. Guy and Katie have driven up from London to be here. Mike's driven up from Leicester, and that's, you know, when you come that far, it's really nice to see you guys. I'm getting a bit emotional, yeah, tightly emotional. Ian, I guess I've known my cousin there the longest. I think he's about a year younger than me. He is actually adopted. He's not part of the family. He's only actually found that out today. So, he's not a bad lad. I've got my golf friends here. Before we got into golf, we used to skydive, and Debbie and Dave and our captain, we had some wonderful years skydiving together. And through that, I met my adopted brother there, Bro, and then we gave up skydiving, took up golf, and I got a whole load of new golf friends. So it's lovely to see you guys here.